Hey guys, DanHeilman here. We are back with another Awaken Chaos Era video. Today, I'm going to make one on the Void Tower. I've had a couple requests for me to make a video on the Void Tower, and I just want to do some tips and tricks. And I kind of just want to show you the teams I use. I want to go over what kind of stats you need. I want to go over some of the things that make Void Tower special and different from other places, and just some other tips. So, all right, enjoy the video. Let's begin. Okay, so the very first thing, if you don't know, let me move myself over. Let me just show you how it works. So you have these little things down here. I'm in Void Tower hard. I'm on floor 80. I got stuck on 69 for a while. I finished that now, but I just want to show you that there's some things that happens in here. You have this, enemies have a 50% chance of inflicting critical resistance down on targets upon a critical hit, which means they'll take more crits. They also have this thing that is immune to stun and sleep. I don't even know if sleep... Oh, it's behind my head. I don't even know if sleep is an actual mechanic in this game. I don't know anyone who does sleep, but stun makes it so you cannot use a stun set, which is kind of annoying because I would love to use like Myla and Tia and put them both on a stun set and have them just freeze and stun everything, but that does not work. You can still use freeze, but freeze breaks itself when it gets hit. So I don't know. I'll show you the two teams I use constantly. One other tip that I do have is if you don't know, you can click the tower, you can go to any floor you want, and you can see what other people have used on that floor. So this is a very helpful hint here. And yeah, some people don't know about this, so just FYI, you can see like basically what everyone used for these floors. There's a lot of teams like this one right here that a lot of people use. You can see Charles is really in here a lot, so he's a good unit. I don't have Charles built, but I can see a lot of people using Charles to beat the tower. A lot of people use this team here: Hackran, Blackhorn, Charles, and Rickard. That's a good one as well, but the team I use doesn't really show up on the list here. Not really that much. I've used this team in the top here. Let me just show you what I use. Okay, so I'm just going to auto this floor. These are mostly red and blue. So this is the team I use for almost all of Void Tower. I'll go over the stats of my characters at the end of this video, but I just kind of want to talk a bit and show it. So this is what I do. Blackhorn and Hackran together are really good because you just have so much sustain. You know, my Hackran gives like 800 defense to everyone on my team. So that is a massive amount of defense. So that makes a huge difference. And then Blackhorn removes debuffs. He heals. He has a lot of sustain. So just with those two, you can just sustain so many fights. Not to mention that Nathalia does so much AoE damage. She made quick work of that first entire wave. And you can see here, she'll probably make quick work of this wave as well. Yeah, just blasted through most of them. Cyrus cleans up whoever's left, but you can see that hit. I mean, it did nothing. And usually if you don't use someone like Hackran and your DPS aren't built tanky at all, you will just get crushed. So yeah, so she's gonna get another kill, so she's gonna reset her ult again. Nathalia is great. If you build her with a lot of damage, she's amazing. All right, so when you get to the last wave, if there's someone like a healer or something like that, I would target focus them. I've done a lot of these stages on auto, so I kind of just let it go on auto. And what I do personally, because I'm lazy, is I will just leave it on auto and I'll let it run. If I lose, I'll just restart it. And then I'll try another team, which is my poison team. I just put in my 2 poisoners instead of Blackhorn, and I'll run it again on auto. And if it fails, you know, I do this like, you know, while I'm doing stuff at home or whatever. I'll just let it run for a while because some of the runs are quite long, especially when you use poisons in here. The runs are very long, so I just kind of let it go. And then if I fail a couple times in a row, then I'll take over on manual, but a lot of them I can do on auto. Floor 69 was very rough, but this is the team I ended up beating floor 69 with. All I did was click focus on the Asia, and then I was able to beat it that way. So you can click on people. It's not exact. You can see I can just click, but since the screen moves so violently in Void Tower, and there's so many animations, it's almost impossible to click anyone to target on auto, and it's very annoying. Like, if I try to click people, and you see the lag, I click Ciara, but then it targeted her like 3 seconds later or 2 seconds later. And I don't know why it does that or what's up with that, but it's really hard to just click people on auto, especially with the screen moving so much and all the alt animations. So that's kind of annoying, but is what it is. You can see we're probably going to beat this no problem on auto. And you can see the sustain I have. Hackrin makes it so I don't take a lot of damage. Blackhorn tops everyone up, and Cyrus and Nathalia do the damage for me. You can see that. Cyrus wiped out him, and we got one little guy left.
Mother Earth bless us.
There's a nice heal from Blackhorn. Great sustain team. I can go, you know, some of these rounds, sometimes I'll go 20, 30 rounds. So this is the team I've had a lot of luck with. I'll show you the stats of all my units in a minute here, but I just want to show you the other team I use. So I'll show you the battle report real quick. Nathalia did a lot of damage because she cleared the first 2 waves by herself, and then Cyrus kind of helped in the end there. All right, and the other team I use, I'll just show you in the start screen, and then I'll go over everyone's gear. But I just want to make a quick video and talk about speeds and stuff. 170 speed is about the speed you need to go before the enemies in here. So that is one thing to notice. And you get a lot of foodies and summons, and this is what I really want. I want to work towards this. And once you clear the tower all the way up to level 100, then you can auto all the way through the tower the next month. So I got 7 days here. I would like to beat 100 floors. I don't know if I'm going to be able to beat all 100 floors, but I'm going to give it a go. So the other team I use, if I don't use the team I just showed, is sometimes I'll just swap out and I'll put Gangello and Santis here as well. Kind of the same theory, you know, Hackrin and Blackhorn just means that you can stay alive for so long, and Santis and Gangello just means that you can just slowly chip away at the enemy's health while sustaining your own health. My Gangello and Santis are also very tanky, and you can see I use the block death and resurrect spells. I kind of use this everywhere in Void Tower, just because the decreased defense spell doesn't work. It just literally doesn't work. You need like 2 million focus in Void Tower, so you can't really use decreased defense. So I kind of just use these spells, especially because, I mean, I don't need the heal because I got Blackhorn. So that's my other team. All right, let me just go through some of the stats on some of my characters now, because that's kind of more important. Honestly, Void Tower is just a gear check. So Void Tower hard, the only thing you need to get through it is really good gear, honestly. So I'll show you my Hackrin, who's geared very well. I finally made it past 4,000 defense on my Hackrin. So here's his stats. 18,000 HP, 4,000 defense, 150 speed, a little bit of crit rate, a little bit of focus and resistance, and some decent agility. So I built him just to be an all-out tank. He is in a revival set, which is awesome. That means he can stay alive for a very long time. I have some pretty good pieces of gear on him. You can see I have this one, like defense, resistance, agility, health, speed. This is kind of like the perfect piece for him. Defense main stat, you want health percent, you want agility, you want resistance, and you want speed. Flat defense is okay too, obviously, because that's just going to increase his defense overall. But I have a lot of pieces like that. Defense, health, focus, speed, agility. You get the point. I use this guy everywhere. He's awesome. So good. All right. That's Hackrin. I'll show you Blackhorn. My Blackhorn's gear is not as good as everyone else's. Oh, and I haven't even done his glyphs yet. Okay, I have not done his glyphs yet. So I definitely have some room for improvement here. I'm using a revival set again. I love revival sets for support units. He's using a revival plus an HP set instead of a defense set like Hackrin is, because his heals are based on max HP. So you want to build a lot of HP. Let's look through his stats real quick here. So he has more HP, 23,000 HP. He still has 1,400 defense. His speed is low because he has a cleanse, so I like having him at the end so he can use his cleanse totem and stuff. But that's also just because I want him with a lot of HP. You can probably speed him up if you want. He has a little bit of focus so that he can land decrease attack. He's not going to land it really in Void Tower because they seem to have very high resistance. He's got a little bit of resistance, a little bit of agility. But yeah, I got definitely room to improve on Blackhorn. So sometimes I sub in Sierra, but most of the time my 2 damage dealers are Cyrus and Nathalia. I'll show you my Nathalia gear. It's the same gear. I've done a lot of videos on this same gear. So I'll just show you kind of the stats and what sets I'm using. So I have almost 4,000 attack. I have high speed because, again, I want to be above 170 speed because that means I go before the waves. It's roughly 170. I have max crit rate and I have 250 crit damage. So again, I'll say it again. I say end game build for me is 250 crit damage, 100% crit, and around 4,000 attack minimum as a end game build. That is the minimum stats you want. So that's my Nathalia, and I'll show you my Cyrus. Cyrus is another person I use a lot. She's very fast as well. She has a very high base speed. Here's her stats: 4100 attack, 170 speed, and 240% crit damage. So she was my best geared hero for a long time. I'm starting to get a little bit better gear sets, but this is who I use here. I'll show you. She's in a cursed set, which is really good. Gives her extra attacks and all that stuff. Yeah, I'm not going to go through every piece of gear on her. Okay, and then Gangello and Santis are built the same. High defense, high focus. I'll just show you their... So they're both in a cursed set for extra poisons. I'll just show you the stats. I won't go through every piece of gear. They both have high health, high defense, enough speed to go almost first, and high focus. Okay, so that's what both of them are going to be in the same type of gear. Here's Santis. Okay, same thing. She's in a cursed set, and she has high defensive stats. 20,000 health, 1,700 defense, decent amount of speed, and a high amount of focus. Okay, so that's all my stats, and that's kind of what I do in Void Tower. I just chug along. I just use these same teams. They're like kind of like sustained teams. I'll show you the poison team now, and I'll kind of just talk for a couple of minutes while this runs. And this is kind of what I do. I just let the thing go for a while. I put in a sustained team that I know can slowly kill it. Charles is really good for this. I know a lot of people use Charles and Rickard in this same kind of team instead of the poisoners. So yeah, I mean, I just let it run. The poison team takes forever. Sometimes it takes, you know, 30 rounds to beat someone. But if they don't die and they're just slowly chipping people away, that's all you really need, see? All I got to do is put all these poisons up. You can see I got a bunch of poisons already on the enemy team here. And all I got to do is live now. So Blackhorn puts his little totem up that automatically tops everyone off. It also removes buffs. My Hackrin means that basically no one can damage me because they all have, what, like 2,500 defense, my whole team, because of him. He gives them like an extra 800 defense, which is wild. So he also hits pretty hard on his A2. He's got 5,000 damage non-crit for Hackrin's A2. So I just sit here and chug away. Just chug away all day long. I can do it on auto. A lot of these fights are on auto. I only take over and do it manual if I've lost a couple times and I'm not able to beat it on auto. But honestly, the two teams I've talked about, I use for almost all these levels. You can sub out other people. So if you have My the Asia and you don't have Blackhorn, I mean, that's kind of like a direct replacement, right? So you're just a healer support. Hackrin, though, I feel like is so strong in here. It's hard to replace Hackrin. I mean, 800 defense for your entire team is just like insane. Hackrin is like definitely top 5 characters in the game for me, in my opinion. I really love Hackrin. He just enables so much stuff and just makes it so you really just can't get one shot. In here, I mean, if you have enough damage where you can just one-shot the entire enemy team, then yeah, you're fine. But I mean, the odds of that are very low, so you need to have some sustain, like a Hackrin and a healer, so that you can actually take a hit and live to fight the next turn, you know? So that's really important here. Okay, that's pretty much it for the video. I'm already at 13 minutes here. I don't want to make the video too long. So I just kind of wanted to show you what teams I use. I've had a lot of requests for Void Tower videos. So I just want to give some tips, what I use, what kind of stats you need. I'm going to try to beat floor 100 this month. I got one more week before it resets. I'm really hoping I can beat floor 100 so I can get that legendary pot. And also, you can get another copy of Sierra if you beat Void Tower hard 100. So okay, that's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I've been trying to make a lot of Awaken Chaos Era content. I've been making at least one video every day. Some days I've been pumping out 2 or 3, but I hope you guys are enjoying the content. If you do enjoy the content, go down there, smash the like button for me. That really helps out my channel, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for the support, and have a great week, everyone. I will talk to you guys later. See ya.